Magic trails! Look at this forest tonight. It feels like it's alive in a new way.
You fly too fast to notice what is changing, Dao.
I notice everything. I just notice it faster.
Brightness is not the same as understanding.
But brightness makes everything beautiful.
You are pushing too hard again.
I am fine. I feel stronger when I shine more.
Lumo, come down slowly.
My light, it feels strange. Why is it fading?
I can't shine anymore. What is happening to me?
Sometimes light rests.
Everything feels so dark without my light.
It is not dark. You are just learning stillness.
Every light has its cycle. Shine, rest, return.
They are inside that log. Gently, on the left side, Bao.
Stay calm, little ones. We are here.
Did I just glow a little?
It returns when kindness leads the way.
I can feel something small coming back, but it's not strong yet.
That is because you are no longer...
Everything feels different when I don't rush through it.
Because rushing hides what is already there.
It feels like everything is responding to calmness.
Calmness is not silence. It is understanding.
They are not afraid of me anymore, even when my light is weak.
Because they feel your intention, not your brightness.
I used to think I needed to be bright to matter. You matter because you exist, not because you shine.
I don't feel fear here like I used to. Because fear leaves when control is no longer needed.
It feels like the forest is
forgiving me. It was never angry, only waiting for you to slow down.
I look different, but I feel more real.
Because you are no longer pretending to shine. It's not coming back because I'm trying, it's coming back because I stopped running.
And that is when light truly returns. I feel lighter, but also deeper somehow.
Because you are no longer carrying the pressure of shining.
Even the water feels like it understands me now.
Because you finally understand yourself.
I don't feel like I need to prove anything anymore.
That is where real strength begins.
Flying feels different now, like I'm not escaping anything, though.
Because you are finally present in every movement.
They don't run away anymore, even when I'm quiet.
Because silence is also a form of trust.
Everything feels alive, but peaceful at the same time.
That is what happens when energy is balanced.
I think the forest is not reacting to my power, but to my calm.
It was always reacting to your state of being.
There are so many directions, but I don't feel confused anymore.
Because confusion disappears when pressure is gone.
It feels like the path is revealing itself as we go.
Because the path was always waiting for you to trust it. I think I finally understand. It was never about finding my light. It was always about becoming it.
The forest feels like it's speaking in a softer voice now.
Because you are finally listening in a softer way.
This part of the forest feels... heavier.
Not heavier, just older.
It feels like the forest remembers everything here, Ben.
It does. And it never forgets patience.
I feel like I've been here before, but I wasn't ready then.
You are ready now because you are different now.
These lights, they feel like pieces of me.
They are not pieces. They are lessons.
I used to think losing my light meant losing myself.
But you only lost your direction, not your existence.
I don't feel pain looking at my past anymore.
Because you are no longer trapped inside it.
It feels like everything inside me is finally quiet.
Quiet is where clarity begins.
I don't need to shine loudly for them to come closer.
Because true light never needs attention.
I think I finally understand what I am.
You are not what you shine. You are what you heal.
The grove changed something inside me. I feel lighter without even glowing brighter.
Because you stopped holding your light like a burden.
Everything feels in rhythm now. Rhythm is what happens when control is replaced with trust.
I used to think depth meant darkness.
Depth is only darkness when you are afraid of it.
I don't feel the need to control anything anymore.
That is because you are finally part of it, not above it.
It's so big, and yet it doesn't feel overwhelming anymore.
Because your mind has stopped resisting what is already here.
I used to chase moments like this. Now I feel like I'm inside them.
Because you are no longer chasing anything. Even my silence feels bright now. Because silence was never empty.
Everything reacts, but nothing overwhelms me anymore.
That is balance. Response without pressure.
They're following us, but I'm not leading them.
You are not leading them, and you are simply showing them calm.
I think I understand now. Light was never something to own.
It was always something to share.
This place feels like it's watching us, but not judging us, but
It is remembering you, not judging you. Even the ground feels alive when I stop trying to control everything.
Because control was always blocking your awareness.
It feels like the world is breathing with us.
Because you are finally breathing with it. I don't feel the need to react anymore. Just to be.
That is where clarity begins. I think I was always afraid of slowing down.
Because you thought stillness meant loss.
Everything feels connected, like nothing is separate anymore. Separation was only perception.
They're not following us anymore, that they're becoming part of this place.
That is what happens when guidance becomes understanding.
I don't feel like I need to go anywhere anymore.
Because you are already where you needed to arrive. This feels like peace. Not excitement, not fear, just peace.
I don't think I'm searching anymore. Because you have become what you were searching for. Everything feels like it has finally settled into place.
Because nothing is trying to become anything else anymore. I used to think I needed to shine to feel alive.
But you are alive, even when you are still.
Even the light feels different now, like it's listening instead of reacting.
Because you stopped demanding it.
They don't come closer like before, but I don't feel distant from them.
Connection does not require closeness.
It feels like I'm part of something much bigger than myself. You always were. You just couldn't see it. I don't feel the need to chase anything anymore. Because what you were chasing was already inside you. I think I finally understand myself.
Understanding is not an end. It is a return.
I don't want to be the brightest anymore, just the most honest.
Honesty shines in ways brightness never can.
Everything feels complete, but not finished.
Because completion is just the beginning of understanding.
I am not separate from this world.
you are the world understanding itself.
It feels like the whole forest is breathing slower now. Because everything has finally stopped fighting itself.
I never realized how loud I used to be inside. Silence only feels loud when you are not used to peace.
Even the air feels like it understands me now. Because you are no longer resisting it. They don't need me to guide them anymore.
Because you taught them how to find your own light.
I don't feel like I need to prove anything at all anymore.
That is when you are truly free.
So this is the next step?
There is no next step, only continuation.
I feel like I can finally see without trying.
Because seeing was never about effort.
Everything feels connected, even the movement of the wind.
Connection was always the truth of this forest.
I think I understand now. It was never about finding light.
It was about becoming aware of it.
I am not searching anymore. I am here. And that is enough.
It feels like the forest is no longer outside me, but part of me.
Because you are no longer separate from it.
There's no urgency anywhere here. Even time feels gentle.
Peace. They don't need guidance anymore. They just are, Bar.
That is what happens when balance is restored.
I used to think I had to be seen to matter.
But you were always matter, even when unseen.
Everything feels like it's breathing together.
Because nothing is resisting itself anymore.
I don't feel like I need to change anything anymore.
Because nothing is broken.
I think I finally understand what I was searching for.
And you found that it was never missing.
The light isn't in one place, it's everywhere.
And you are part of everywhere.
I don't need to be the brightest anymore.
Because you are finally whole.
This is not an ending, it feels like understanding.
And understanding never ends.
Everything I see now feels familiar, like I've always known it.
Because you finally stopped running from it. I used to think losing my light was the end of me. But it was only the beginning of understanding it. The forest doesn't need me to shine anymore.
Because now you are part of its natural glow.
I don't feel lost anymore, not even in memory.
Because you are no longer defined by what you lost.
They don't need me anymore, and that feels right.
That is when guidance becomes freedom.
It feels like everything is connected without effort.
Because connection was never meant to be forced.
I think I finally understand what I am.
You are awareness learning itself.
I don't need to become anything anymore.
Because you already are.
This is not a story about losing light.
It is a story about remembering it.
I am not the light. I am part of it.